Hello, I'm Mordecai Tolo, Field Operations Officer for Jamaica Eggs iPro, and I'm here to talk to you today about growing your day-old layer chicks. First of all, you have to have a clean environment for these chicks. If you just built your house, you have to put in new litter and make sure the litter is sanitized. You can use bleach, a 10% bleach solution, or if you have the house already and you used to grow other chicks, you need to remove all the litter and put in fresh litter and spray that new litter with bleach again or copper sulfate. Then you need clean equipment. You need clean plasans and feed pans, and you also need to enclose the house. You have to enclose it with tarpaulin or white curtains that will help to keep out the draft and help the birds to have a warm, comfortable environment. And then you also need a foot bath so that as you step from outside into the house, your feet will be sanitized. That's important to give the birds a good, clean start. So we have to start with clean equipment. And this is our plasan. As you can see, it's clean and it has to be thoroughly disassembled and sanitized and reassembled so that we are ready to go. No dirt, no grime, everything should be clean. And then we use an adjuster and we adjust it down to the level of the baby chicks. So you want it to be just above the ground, touch the ground and up back a little bit like that. Just being able to move off the ground, the chicks can drink from it comfortably. When the birds arrive, you feed them in the trays. This is the feed tray, the chick tray. You feed them in this for 7 days, after which you remove it out of the house and you use the bottom of the pan. You feed them in this for an additional 7 days. At 2 weeks, you'll then assemble the feed pans and the birds will eat from that time onward. So you go right ahead and assemble the feed pans. And now you have to adjust it to their height, so it will be just about there, just barely off the ground. And they'll eat from that from 2 weeks onward. During the growth phase, temperature control is important for the comfort of the birds. I have with me here an infrared thermometer that's going to measure the temperature of the roof as opposed to the temperature where the birds are. Let's do that. As you can see, on the roof, we're getting 112 degrees. While where the birds are, we're getting 90 degrees. Now, if these birds were enclosed all day long, they would have over 100 degrees radiating on them. And that would make them stressed. They wouldn't eat properly. So we want to make sure that the temperature is right. And one way to keep the temperature adequate is to allow airflow during the course of the day when there is high outside temperature. Lighting is important for the birds. In week 1, they need 21 hours of light so that they can find feed, eat enough feed, find water, drink enough water, and be settled. But they also need 3 hours to sleep. So it's important that the farmers adhere to the Jamaica Eggs iPro lighting program as closely as possible. If you do, the birds will do well. When the birds arrive, it's important that the house is prepared. The curtain should be in place and up to keep out the draft. Inside the house, you need to have the litter covered with paper so that the chickens will not eat the litter, but they'll be able to find the feed. Then you want to scatter some of the feed just for day 1 only on the paper, and the birds are able to find the feed easily until they get accustomed to eating from the trays. You also need to have the waterer set with the right level of water, and you want to make sure that the birds have antibiotics in the drinking water so that they can get a clean start. And if you do that, you'll be on your way to profitable egg production, farming smarter, the Hypro way. So after all the chickens have left, your task is now to prepare for the new flock. The first thing you'll do is to remove all the equipment, your feed pans and your plasans out of the way, pack them away to be washed. The feed pans should be taken apart, separate the body from the base and put them aside to be clean. So make sure that this is done. They should not be left in the house and just wiped for the new flock. They should be taken apart and cleaned. Also, the plasans, they should be taken apart. So in the plasan head, you have water adjuster, the spring, the lock collar, the mechanism top, the support for the washer and the washer itself, and also the mechanism bottom as well as the downspout. All of these should be removed and washed in an acid bath. The water line has to be flushed with a strong chlorine solution. 1 teaspoon to a gallon of water. This will dislodge the biofilm, and then citric acid has to be added. 1.5 packs to a drum of water, and this should be left overnight to remove the lime scale. In so doing, the entire water system will be clean. Then if you have a nipple drinking system and basket automatic feeders, you want to winch those up, get them out of the way so that you can have access to removing the litter out of the house. You'll remove the litter out of the house, including all the cake spots, and you'll only leave 1 inch of litter on the ground. That 1 inch of litter will be burnt with a blowtorch, singeing the feathers and treating the litter with heat. The flame of the torch kills diseases, bacteria, viruses, and parasites. For example, the darkling beetle and coccidiosis. They're all destroyed by heat. So when the litter is thoroughly treated, the birds attain the weight standard for age and the farmer earns much more. And if you notice here on the ground, this has been taken out already and the 1 inch is left, just about 1 inch, so that when you apply the heat, you can really treat the litter and burn the feathers. And that will be ready now for receiving the new birds. So the key to producing good pullets, A-grade pullets, is to make sure we get the chicks off to a good start. That means getting out the excess litter out of the house, reducing that litter to 1 inch and burning it thoroughly, taking the equipment apart, sanitizing the parts in the acid bath, flushing the water lines, getting out all the sludge, giving the chicks a clean start. And if we give them a clean start and we take good care of them throughout the grow out, then we'll have good Hypro Jamaica eggs pullets to sell.